The community of Milwaukee is still struggling to understand and searching for answers as to why 7-year-old Jamal White Jr. was kidnapped. And many are pointing out to days leading up to the kidnapping of Jamal that he was out with his mother. They were having a good time, going on trips and spending the summer together. And as you can see by many of the videos, Jamal was just being a kid, hanging out with his mom and having fun, soaking up some of the summer sun. And little did the family know that in a couple of more days, once Jamal made it back to his dad's house, the unspeakable would happen. The unfortunate kidnapping and abduction of Jamal has everybody trying to understand, why would this happen and who is behind this whole ordeal? The story of Jamal White Jr., 7-year-old child who was abducted, kidnapped in broad daylight in front of his father. That's right. These masked gunmen in a white Jeep, tinted up with no license plates on it, could be seen just sitting and loafing and waiting on the side of the road there, parked, until Jamal and his dad comes up the street. And Jamal is riding his bike. They're said to have been leaving the park, and the dad was in the vehicle, trailing, following his son, keeping an eye on him. And as soon as they pull back up to the house, that's when this white Jeep, they bust a U-turn in the street, following the boy. That's right. And as soon as they got up on Jamal, these masked gunmen jumped up out of that Jeep at gunpoint, and that's when the father took off running in the house. The father then shuts the door behind him after he runs in the house, while these masked gunmen are outside of his house with his son still. And they snatch up Jamal, and you can hear Jamal screaming, hollering for his dad. That's right. In the surveillance video footage, you can hear all this going on. And I'm pretty sure that the father heard his son screaming for help.
Breaking news of an abducted 7-year-old boy. A warning, ladies and gentlemen, the details that you're about to hear are difficult. Authorities issued an Amber Alert for a 7-year-old taken at gunpoint in Milwaukee. So take a look at your screen. This is 7-year-old Jamal White. Investigators say a masked man took him at gunpoint. This is around 7 last night near 61st and Eustis, and drove off in a white Jeep Renegade SUV. The neighborhood is on the city's northwest side, just southwest of 60th and Good Hope.
And Duke, that urgent search underway. As you mentioned, that Amber Alert starting at about midnight for that 7-year-old Jamal White, taken by a masked man in a white Jeep just a couple of miles north of here at 61st and Eustis. Take a look at the surveillance video that we obtained from the neighborhood showing that white Jeep pulling up as the child riding by on his bicycle stopped in the street. You can then see the Jeep back up, turn around, and head in the direction of the boy and the bike. Both the boy, the SUV, then out of frame. So we can't exactly see what happened, but that white Jeep Renegade in the video is the same type of vehicle authorities are searching for connected to this Amber Alert. And another look at that missing boy, 7-year-old Jamal White. We can't show this photo enough. Last seen in a white Jeep Renegade SUV, white, 4 feet tall, black, brown eyes, wearing a white t-shirt and black shorts. Authorities do not know the name of the armed man, at least have not shared it with us or other media outlets. Again, one more time, looking for that white Jeep Renegade that we've seen on surveillance video pulling up next to White as he was riding by on his bicycle. Still no word, though, on what the license plate of that Jeep Renegade reads. Again, that desperate search for that 7-year-old underway after that Amber Alert issued last night around midnight, dude.
You shot straight, but you shot late. Hi, Lem. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
MPD, Milwaukee Police Department, still have no motive that they have put out as to why somebody would want to kidnap and abduct Baby J, as they called him. And slide with me as I explore some of the reasons that I believe why Baby J, Jamal White Jr., was kidnapped there in front of his father. And many speculations are going around the internet, but we're going to stick to the facts. And then we're going to explore what people are saying about the situation out in Milwaukee. Certain family members have chimed in on the situation, and people that's close to the situation are also speaking out.
Last night, 12 News spoke with a relative of Jamal White, asking for the public's help in finding him.
We just want him home safe. So please call 911, call, ask for help. If anybody has any information, he's such a good kid. He's such a vibrant, charismatic kid. Everybody loves him, and they just want him home safe.
Now, many online speculations are circulating the internet, blaming the father and the mother for Jamal's kidnapping. That's right, and many are even putting out there in the atmosphere that the arrest of Jamal's twin brother, right, somehow had something to do with the abduction of his nephew, Jamal Jr. And many people are riding with this narrative until the family came along and the family had to set things straight and put things into perspective and killed the false narrative that anybody in the family had anything to do with Jamal Jr.'s abduction. Many would also begin to put out rumors of a ransom being held for the return of Baby J, because people are starting to realize this thing is deeper than what we can see on the surface. And many are saying this could be behind drugs. And then many are saying, look, simply because of the flashy lifestyle of the mother, and this could very well be part of the reason why the son was kidnapped by these masked gunmen. Now, following the kidnapping of Baby J, the feds was crawling all over Milwaukee, searching for suspects and searching for everybody who had something to do with this child being abducted in broad daylight in front of the home. And they said this happened around 7 p.m. that night. 5 hours later at 12 a.m., that's when they finally put out an Amber Alert to alert the city of, the description of the vehicle and the child and what the child was wearing and things of that nature.
We don't have any information to give to say, this is what happened and that what happened.
Doorbell camera footage from Friday showing that moment near 61st and Eustis. A small child can be seen riding a bicycle before a white Jeep Renegade turns around, following the young boy. Jamal's aunt telling 12 News that 4 masked men holding guns took the boy.
Pass out flyers. We are passing out flyers everywhere. Post it on your social media.
The next day, family organizing a frantic search along 61st and Eustis.
Now, after that 7-year-old Baby J was abducted there at his home in front of his family, his father and others that were inside the home, you had the family and the friends and neighbors and concerned people of Milwaukee. They started looking, searching, and trying to find out clues and tips as to where Baby J was located and who would do such a thing. Why would this happen? And it was a $50,000 reward put out for Baby J's return. That's right. Who had that kind of cash? Wow, wowzers, yikes. Was that what the kidnappers were allegedly after? Some bread, some money, some moolah for this boy's life? Well, possibly, because who put up all that money? Well, according to the article, they say the family put up the money. Let's check it out. Run it.
The next day, family organizing a frantic search along 61st and Eustis, even offering a $50,000 reward for Jamal's safe return.
Now, I ain't gonna give you no narrative. I'm gonna give you the rundown. And the next day, when the family was panicking, frantically trying to find Jamal and any information leading up to where his whereabouts was and who took him, right? Right after the abduction, the family ran outside, according to new video footage. And you can see the father slamming his hand on the back of his car, right? He was pissed off. He was, shaken up by his son being abducted, kidnapped by these masked gunmen at gunpoint. And many people started to wonder, well, why come the father didn't get in the car, right, and chase the gunmen that had abducted his son? And to some people, that right there was enough to draw suspicion, to start rumors and innuendo and lies and misinformation saying that the father could have possibly had something to do with it. And even when the information came out in this Milwaukee Journal Sentinel saying that the twin brother of the father, right, Jamal White, he was arrested. And that also led to more lies and deception being put out there in the public, saying that the father and the brother had something to do with Jamal Jr.'s abduction. That was absurd. But let's read this article and see why people got all mixed up with the information. Now, the article states that one of the two people arrested at the home from which the child was taken from was being held on tentative charges of resisting and obstructing, and the other was being held on a tentative charge of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. And both are 27 years old. So, like I just told you, the father has a twin brother named Jamal. That's right. Jamal White Sr. has a twin brother that was arrested, okay, for, as according to the reports are coming out now, he was the one that recklessly endangered the safety of the public. And they said, like I told you earlier in the beginning, it was rumors that, were spreading that he was the one shooting at a vehicle that kept circling the block around their house after the abduction. Now, okay, that's why he said he was shooting, because he felt like this vehicle was tied to the abduction and he was trying to protect his family, because they had their grandmother in the house, according to some of the reports, and it was other people that they had to protect. Even though they had just abducted Baby J, they were still trying to protect their home. Okay, now this right here would explain why the brother was shooting. And while the other brother, the father, Jamal, why did he go to jail? Well, of course, it says right here in the article, for resisting and obstructing. Now, I'm pretty sure he was panicking. He was outraged. His son had just got abducted and kidnapped by these masked gunmen. Of course, he probably was resisting and obstructing, when the officers got there. Because he even stated when he posted on Facebook that they treated him like he was the criminal, like he was the kidnapper or the abductor, or even had something to do with it. And this article right here is what got a lot of people saying and putting out misinformation that the family was involved when actually they wasn't. These were totally different charges that was not related.
For being abducted over the weekend is now charged, but not with the boy's disappearance.
Prosecutors say 27-year-old Jamal White fired shots on Eustis Street Saturday, right where the boy was taken. They say while a person was helping look for the boy on Saturday, White fired shots at their car. That person called 911, and local journalists working in the area told police they also saw him shooting. When police finally arrived, they found White and say he told them he was scared for his family. No one was injured in the shooting.
So you see, as it turns out, Jamal White, the twin brother, he was firing shots at somebody who was allegedly looking for Baby J, right? Looking for his nephew, looking for his brother's son, and he was letting shots off at him. But obviously he thought that they could have been connected to the kidnappers. This is why he did what he did.
And we're still wondering exactly why there was a delay in issuing that Amber Alert on Friday.
And for some perspective on that, let's bring in Stephanie Quirk, who learned about the process of meeting criteria for an Amber Alert.
A chilling moment captured on doorbell video Friday on Eustis Street, where police say a 7-year-old boy was taken at gunpoint around 7 p.m. Milwaukee police issued a critical missing alert just before 9:30. Then, hours later, an Amber Alert at midnight.
We've been crying off and on, just worrying if we're going to find him alive.
So not only did the twin brother Jamal White get arrested for that, his brother, the father of Jamal Jr., was arrested also for obstructing. And, as they said, he was resisting and things of that nature. So, that's the worst thing that could happen. Your child just got abducted, kidnapped in front of you by a masked gunman. Then you go to jail right after that, you guys. That's crazy. Because had he probably left the scene to go chase after that car, he wouldn't have been there when the cops got there, obviously. But he was there. He went to jail, unfortunately, and I'm pretty sure he was worried to death about his son. But we also seen that, he was on the scene when the live crew was there, when the search continued the following day. So obviously he must have got right on out. Now, many family members were also on the scene with the father after he got out of jail for that resisting and obstructing charge. And who I didn't see on the scene was the mom of Baby J. That's right, Paris Marie is what she goes by on Instagram, okay, and also Facebook. But her real name is Siobhan Williams. And also, according to Siobhan Williams, Paris Marie, as they call her, her Instagram stated that a picture she posted, she captioned it that she was 60 days out, right, back on the streets, as if she had, been locked up previously in 2023 leading up into 2024 when she was released. And so that would, tell us that she did do a little time for something, but, nevertheless, she was back out and she was doing good and she was getting praised by family members that, she was back like she never left. She was already on game and she already had jewelry and money and the status. And as soon as she got back out, she was right back at it like she never left. Now, many content creators and online investigators began to looking into the background of who the mother was. And upon my research, okay, I found out she was very successful at what she did. And she had a couple of businesses, even advertising spaces for rent at her hair salon, okay? And she was charging $100 per booth if she had like 15 to 16 booths in there, okay? And she was also, showing and flashing money online and even buying Baby J a necklace with the diamond encrusted J, all right, the piece that was on the gold chain that she bought for her son. And she had APs and all kinds of diamond jewelry herself and expensive clothes and going on trips and looking very successful and wealthy, okay, from the online presence that she had. Also showing up to Boosie Bash and things of that nature. And she went out there to Houston to go party a couple of days before the incident happened. Now, according to the online post that Siobhan was making, Baby J was with his mama on 4th of July. They were hanging out, popping firecrackers and enjoying the holiday. And then obviously, she had dropped him back off with the father and the family there. And this is where everybody started to ask questions. What was she, during the time of this kidnapping? Why wasn't she on the scene? And why wasn't she talking and things of that nature? She hadn't posted nothing to her social media accounts or nothing like that. So people started drawing their own conclusions, all right? Now, people started to point out something very strange and suspicious right before the announcement that Baby J, had a tip come in to as of where he could have possibly been, right? People noticed that Siobhan Williams, aka Paris Marie, the mother of Baby J, she unfollowed this guy on her Instagram who had been liking her pictures and had been following her and her son on Instagram because Baby J had his own Instagram page as well. That's right. And it said that some of these kidnappers, these abductors, right, these masked gunmen, they were following the child and the mother. And people started to put this information out there, and the family wasn't taking a liking to that because it kind of made it seem as if people were insinuating that she was involved, and they had already started rumors that the twin brothers, And like I said, one of them is the father of Jamal Jr. And people tried to say that they all were in cahoots with each other with this child being kidnapped. And they knew more than what they were telling us. Now, when that $50,000 reward was put out, right? That's when the family got this strange call, a tip. That's right. Somebody had tipped off the law enforcement, the feds there in town that, hey, Baby J is over such and such. That's right. And when they got that tip, right? Could this be from the same people who was trying to collect this ransom? Could this be from the same people who tried to hit a lick?
Corey Williams.
Now, suspect Corey Williams was arrested at the scene where Baby J was found at that house, okay? And now we have a suspect in custody, and the family was rejoicing because Baby J was found, and many people started to rejoice and started gathering, and people started to come to the scene to see if this was true.
Like they got somebody in the back of this car. They got him. That's him for real? That's him for real?
Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
It's him.
I'm so happy for
Oh my God.
I'm happy for y'all, man. Yeah, so family is here, y'all. They saying it's confirmed it's him. So happy for them. We are, this is 39th and Lloyd, I believe. Oh, man. I just drove past this shit too. I told Black before I dropped him off, I said, something going on over there. But I ain't drive down here, guys. Oh my Lord, they got him. That's him. They got him. They got him, y'all. Do y'all know, like, the circumstances they found him? Like, he was just walking around, or they caught him with somebody, or? It's an abandoned house right here. Yeah, they got him, y'all. And it's the third house. I hope they got somebody, bro. That shit crazy. This literally down the street from my house, y'all. But I'm glad he all right. We've been just with them doing a search earlier. You know, I know they've been, you know, but this is the best case scenario, man. He all right. He returned. Don't look like he injured at all, you know. So we can mark this one off the list. Shout out to MPD. I don't know, again, I don't know how they found him, but they said they ran in this third house to the left here with shields and tactical gear. And brought him out is what I think they saying. How you doing? Good. Good, very good, very good.
Always good.
Yeah. So we got confirmation, y'all, man. That's best case scenario. I have to pull up over here and make sure myself.
Oh Lord, they found him.
Yeah, he's found. It's a found.
Oh Jesus.
It's found. It's found.
Where he at?
He's found. He's found, y'all. Listen, man, the city is turned happy. You already know.
at the corner of 39th and Lloyd.
Oh my Lord, they got him. That's him. They got him. They got him, y'all.
An entire Milwaukee community on edge for nearly 24 hours, now at ease. 7-year-old Jamal White, taken at gunpoint Friday night, safe.
We was just all together, just not even 2 whole hours ago. The community came through and we found him safe and sound alive.
Hours earlier, Jamal's cousin Nikki Harrington had been searching frantically with her entire family until she got that call.
What? He where? And we just pulled up. It was just like, I don't know. I'm happy.
The crime scene quickly turning into a celebration. Hundreds of people packing the block, wiping away tears of joy. Even a group of motorcycles revving their engines in celebration. Many of them watching on as the little boy reunited with his family.
He came standing right here. And I said, "You okay, cousin?" He looked at me. He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." And they took him to the car.
And then I saw the lights down here and I'm like, I don't know what's going on down there.
Community activist Vaughn Mays immediately began streaming on Facebook Live when he noticed the large police presence.
Yeah, they saying that he's found. I'm trying to confirm.
Moments later.
Oh my Lord, they got him. That's him. They got him.
Capturing the moment all of Milwaukee had waited for on camera.
They got him, y'all. I pulled up over here and I physically saw the family, got confirmation from them, and I physically saw them put him into a vehicle. He was okay. He got checked out by medical that was on scene, and it was it from there.
Police have still yet to release any information as to the circumstances of Jamal's abduction, but family just happy to have him back.
He seen all of us there. We all got to see him. We all got to say, "We love you." He seen we all was there. Yeah. So he looked at us and we said, "You okay, cousin?" And he said, "Yeah."
Community, while thankful for law enforcement, also giving credit to one another for bringing Jamal back to his family.
Super grateful for the city, the citizens of the city that's been assisting, searching, sharing posts, trying to help track down the car. This has been the work of not only law enforcement, shout out to them, but the vigilance of the citizens. We don't play about kids here in Milwaukee. I know we have a lot of negative connotations, but when it comes to stuff like this, people usually show up and show out, and I'm proud of my city today.
We've all had trouble sleeping, eating. Baby J is very precious to us.
Milwaukee police say Jamal was kidnapped at gunpoint and put into a white Jeep that sped off.
Just to think about what he may have been going through.
TMJ4 obtained doorbell footage that some viewers may find disturbing. It shows Jamal ride past on a bike, and moments later, you can hear his screams. It's those screams that brought dozens of people from across Wisconsin to Milwaukee to help search.
I came down as a dad. When I heard that boy was calling for his daddy, as a father, I came. I just came right away.
Many of the people pictured here spent Saturday knocking on doors and handing out flyers.
As a mom, the worst nightmare is to have your kid come up missing. That is the worst nightmare.
That search ended near 39th and Lloyd Saturday evening, where police were seen outside of this home. A family on the other side of caution tape receiving good news as the Amber Alert for Jamal White was canceled.
Baby J hit home for a lot of people. He's an innocent child. He's 7 years old. It could be anybody's child.
Jamal's family tells me he was taken to the hospital to get checked out. As for who's responsible, neighbors tell me they did see someone get arrested.
And people were saying, look, man, they wasn't targeting the child. Nah, they were targeting the father. And many started to say, well, the father took off running and the gunman could have easily gunned him down before he made it in the house. Why they didn't do that? And people started speculating, saying, well, they wanted to kidnap the father and maybe try to extort him and try to torture him into telling them where the alleged, this is what people were saying, drugs, all right, or money was at, and they was going to hold the father hostage. But instead, since the father ran and left the child outside, that's right, closed the door on him, and the child was left to be taken by these masked gunmen, screaming, "Daddy, help, Daddy!" And they put him in the car, the Jeep, the white Jeep that was tinted with no license plates on it, and sped off. And the new video footage showed that Jamal and the family walked outside And many people started to wonder, why didn't Jamal get in that car and follow those masked gunmen with his child in that car, right? And that also led to people saying that he could have possibly, allegedly, been involved.
And breaking news at 5, new video tonight showing the moment someone kidnapped a Milwaukee boy at gunpoint, sparking a statewide Amber Alert over the weekend. He is safe tonight, but friends and family and police spent nearly 24 hours Friday into Saturday searching for 7-year-old Jamal White. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live at the Milwaukee County Jail tonight. And Hannah, police have someone in custody.
Right, Blake, a 25-year-old man is right now in custody here in connection to this abduction, but police tell me he did not act alone. A terrifying abduction caught on camera. Someone sprinting with 7-year-old Jamal White in their arms, putting him into a white Jeep.
I'm glad he's okay, but it's kind of like, I still can't rest, because who would do something like this to a 7-year-old?
This new video 12 News obtained Monday shows the Jeep parked on the side of the street Friday night. It starts to move as Jamal is spotted riding his bike on the sidewalk, returning from a nearby park. The boy's aunt says her brother was driving the sedan, following alongside his young son. The camera catching the white Jeep turning around, then later blocking the end of their driveway. 2 people got out of the Jeep simultaneously. One, who appears to be holding a gun, tried following the man into the house. The other chased the little boy down the driveway. Seconds later, the suspect comes back into frame with Jamal in his arms, putting him into the Jeep. Do you have answers as to why in the world this happened yet?
We don't have any answers, and I feel like that is what is bothering the family a lot. I feel like a lot of us are unsettled.
Unsettled as family is seen running out of the home. The boy's father spotted slamming his arms on the trunk of his car. That was about 7 p.m. Friday night. The state not issuing an Amber Alert until 5 hours later, around midnight. Eventually, after a harrowing all-day search on Saturday.
They got him, y'all.
Police recovered the boy in a home near 39th and Lloyd around 6 p.m. Saturday, 7 miles away from home.
We literally cannot thank the community enough, because I genuinely feel like if it wasn't for everybody just caring about this 7-year-old boy, we probably would not have found him.
Just a terrifying 24 hours. Hannah, police have yet to reveal a motive.
Right, Blake, and same goes for the relationship, if any, between these suspects and Jamal's family. That family does tell me that Jamal is right now with Child Protective Services as this investigation continues for police. They are hoping to reunite with him soon.
Now, as we know, the media can be very deceptive, and deceptive they very well was, because the headlines read 3 arrested for abduction of 7-year-old Jamal White. But I just explained to you that 2 of those arrests at the house where Jamal was abducted from, the home, those were, arrests of his own family members, okay? His father and his uncle, who were the twin brothers. And they somehow, misconstrued, those 2 arrests with the arrest of one of the suspects, just one suspect, even though it was 4 masked gunmen in the car, okay? It was only one suspect at the house, Corey Williams, at that residence with Jamal at the time when they made the arrest and the recovery of Jamal. So you see the family, they spoke out about that on Facebook in a post, and they were saying that, the headlines, the news was wrong for adding, their family members into that arrest as if they had something to do or was a suspect into the kidnapping of their own family member, Jamal. Now, one of the family members was questioning in an interview as to, what happened and why it would happen. Simone White stated she don't know as to why in the world this would happen, and that they're still searching for answers, okay? And the camera, it captures the white Jeep turning around later and blocking the end of their driveway in that newly exposed angle of this footage, okay, of this kidnapping. And 2 people exited the Jeep simultaneously. One appeared to be holding a gun and tried to follow Jamal's father into the house. That's what led up to Jamal slamming the door, I imagine, because, like I stated, it was other family members in the house, like the grandmother and such. But yes, he did leave his child outside exposed to be taken by those masked gunmen. But, he said he didn't think they was going to do that, but yet and still, people was bashing him. People was going in on him, dogging him, trashing him, saying he was a bad father for this, saying that, they would have never did that. But in the heat of the moment, I really don't think people would actually know exactly what they would do, because you're looking at it from the outside in, okay? But when you're on the inside, okay, and something like that happens simultaneously, like they said, 2 masked gunmen, you have no gun, you're, naked, as they say, with nothing on you, no weapon, just you and your child, vulnerable, okay? He thought they were coming after him. He said he thought they was coming to rob him. This is what he stated in a Facebook post once everybody started coming down on him about his actions and leaving his child behind to be kidnapped. Now, people on social media was coming at old Jamal Sr. pretty tough about, him not trying to even show any type of heroism by jumping in that car and speeding after that vehicle that had his son in it that had just been kidnapped in front of him, right? And he had a lot of things to say, and this is what he said on his Facebook post. Check it out. Now, I seen somewhere where they were saying, well, maybe he didn't chase after the car because he didn't have a gun. And somebody rebutted that and said, well, his brother had a gun, right? He was shooting at people, and that turned out to be people who was trying to help look for their son, right? But, at the end of the day, man, who knows why these guys didn't get in that car with that gun that they had to go, follow after the car that kidnapped Jamal, right? And who knows, man, but at the end of the day, everything worked out how it worked out, and the father is alive, okay? Other family members that were in the house at the time that this one masked gunman tried to enter the house, right? That's why the father slammed the door, I would assume, okay? Now, everybody's good. The child is back home, and everything's all great, right? Well, the family's not, taking this too lightly, because everybody blamed the father, the brother, they even blamed the mother. And with the mother having the same last name, as this suspect. His name is Corey Williams. And like I told you, her real name is Siobhan Williams. Now, that was that eerie connection that I said earlier that many people started to suspiciously notice. Williams and Williams. Were they related somehow? Maybe it was a coincidence that the mother's last name is Williams and the suspect, last name is Williams. But at the end of the day, we have to sit back and wait to see what the motive was. Who was really involved in the kidnapping of Baby J, aka Jamal White Jr. Now, who were the other suspects that were involved? It was 3 more people that haven't been arrested yet. 3 more masked gunmen, right? Driver, passenger, and the 2 that got out simultaneously. Now, Simone White, she spoke out, and this is the same one that was on the interview with the news, and she said she had no idea in the world why this would happen or who would want to do this. She said, dang, everybody knows more than us about what happened to our family. A lot of y'all follow that boy's page that got arrested, talking about Corey Williams. And she says, one of y'all know who that boy is / or who he be with. Y'all so loud on here and so quiet with info that'll help out. I don't know. I don't have the energy I thought I have to get on all y'all asses. So shout out to everyone that knows us and that knows that Jamal being involved in anything related to Baby J being harmed is quite laughable. Even though this isn't a funny matter. It's just that it's the craziest thing ever. So again, shout out to the people that know us that's not even calling with this shit. LOL. I understand why y'all think y'all know something. Typos on articles are sending people into a frenzy. Thanks, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. And that's what I pointed out earlier. They were, mixing those 2 arrests of the twin brothers up with the suspect. Why? Why would they do that? Making it seem as if they had something to do with the kidnapping, man. That's crazy. We don't know anything, she goes on to say. What about what happened? We don't know nothing about that neither. and the police have told us nothing. All we know is that baby J is safe and is coming home to us soon. Okay, so she knew, and everybody knew at that point, that the baby was with CPS. He was getting checked out and things of that nature, making sure nothing, happened to him. And she goes on to say, I wish that could be our focus, but maybe after things calm down. Now, a little bit more about the suspect who was arrested, Corey Williams. He was not arrested for the kidnapping of baby J, even though he was found at the address where the child was located at, right? Well, he was only arrested for parole violation.
An MPD says charges against the 25-year-old man arrested will be referred to the district attorney's office. As of now, no charges have been filed.
And that's very suspicious that at this time, they're saying they're waiting to charge this guy or see if he's going to be charged. Really? But, they were saying that on his IG profile, he had posted on his story about kids being off limits. And this was right before, I believe, that the child was either kidnapped or right after the child was kidnapped. But that was crazy either way that he posted that at all. Okay, before or after. So he was already implicating himself, in this whole matter. Now, a lot of people were pointing out that, he was following the mama. Now, could he have been plotting along with others? Maybe so, because we do know it was others involved. Or was he the mastermind of it? And that's why, he's the only one that so far is, being said that had been following baby J's mother on Instagram, watching her lifestyle closely, and possibly was the one that was behind the whole ordeal. But he did post on his story after the whole incident went down, when he was about to get arrested. And this is what he said. He posted, "I love y'all. I'm gone." Wow. So he already knew that it was over for him. But like I stated, at this moment, he has not been charged with the abduction, the kidnapping of baby J. And we're all sitting back in suspense, waiting to see what these charges are going to hit for. Now, family members even spoke out saying that nobody in the family, right, the twins, the father and the brother, they don't know Corey Williams. And they're saying that as far as they know, right, they don't know why Corey would do something like this. And as far as the mother, right, even with all those rumors saying that her having the same last name, Williams, right, that right there has no connection that has been updated as of yet, neither, as if, she's related to this guy, Corey Williams. And it was also said that she didn't even follow Corey Williams on Instagram. Corey followed her. But why would she delete him? Who knows? Maybe she didn't feel comfortable with, this guy following her anymore, right? And at that time, maybe, she felt like since he wasn't apprehended when she unfollowed him, maybe that he was still watching her and trying to get the drop on her and possibly kidnap her in some way. I mean, who knows? There's so many possibilities out there. I don't want to think the worst because, when you put negative energy out there, that's what you're going to get back. So let's just assume that she felt like her life was in danger as well. Now, it was stated that during the duration of having the victim, the child, Jamal White Jr., the alleged suspect continued to upload posts on his social media account. He proceeded to delete his entire Instagram account, posts, and minus the last story that I read saying that he loved everybody and that he was gone, right? He wanted everybody to see that one. I love y'all, I'm gone, right? Okay, so everything about kids are off limits and things of that nature that he was posting, that right there, like I said earlier, that was suspicious of him doing that. So that would explain why he erased that and deleted it off his account, because this was all a trail being left back to him being the suspect in this whole abduction. Now, in the beginning, the rumors that were going around is that it was drug related and they wasn't going to let the baby go until they paid that ransom money. Now, when the family put up $50,000 and they got that call, that was, very suspicious that now, that this $50,000 was involved, right? This tip comes in to find Jamal. But, this right here would negate was somebody put out saying that the state authorities found a location from a burner phone. Okay, so did this clown try to, collect his own ransom for the missing child? Because this right here is crazy, unless somebody was just putting out misinformation, as we've seen before. But, people were saying that the kidnapper was demanding ransom money for the child, and this is possibly why the family put up the $50,000. And in such cases, we know that when it's a ransom, or a child kidnapping, and they want money for the child back and everything, sometimes they do try to keep that secret because they don't want, the public to basically go in a frenzy about this. And this is possibly why it was kept quiet. But now that the boy's been found, the FBI still isn't releasing any information close to sounding like it was a ransom at all. But the $50,000 was up for grabs for whoever told the police about the whereabouts of Jamal White Jr., right? And it makes me wonder, who got that money? Who received that money if they didn't know where Jamal was? Somebody had to tip them off in order for them to go and get the baby and apprehend the suspect. Now, a recent search through the father's Facebook profile and the mother's Facebook profile and other family members, I don't see where the child has been returned yet to the family. So, assumably, the child is still with CPS. And as of now, this is all we have, okay? Nobody else has been arrested. And like I told y'all before, the charges haven't even been brought against Corey Williams. So keep it locked to OG Jucario TV as I bring y'all more updates as they come along in this story. Because if it was a burner phone that this guy was, contacting the family and trying to, get this ransom money, I'm pretty sure he was also contacting the other masked gunmen that were involved in this whole alleged abduction / kidnapping for ransom, right? So we shall see, you guys. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire situation in the comment section. And until the next time, this is OG Jucario TV with the latest in rap, hip-hop, celebrity, and urban news. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spinning with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, hey man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. You already know what it is, man. It's deeper than Buddha, you hear me? And guess what? I'm gone.